Look at this plug. It's on your phone, your laptop, your headphones, your game controller, maybe even your car. One connector for everything. Sounds perfect, right? Except there are dozens of different standards hiding behind that one tiny plug. Same shape, wildly different capabilities. One cable charges your phone. Another drives a 4K monitor while charging your laptop at 240 watts. And they look completely identical. So today, we're untangling the mess. Every USB-C standard explained. USB-C was born in August 2014. The USB Implementers Forum, a group backed by Apple, Intel, Microsoft, and HP, published the first USB Type-C specification. Their mission? Kill the cable chaos. By then, we had Type A, Type B, Mini B, Micro B. None of them reversible, none of them universal. USB-C changed everything with one radical decision. 24 pins, arranged symmetrically. The old USB-A? Just 4. And because the pins are mirrored top and bottom, there's no wrong way to plug it in. The cable detects its orientation and reroutes the signals instantly. But those extra pins weren't just for convenience. They unlocked something called alternate mode, the ability to carry data, video, audio, and power through one cable. And that is where the confusion begins. Here's the thing most people don't realize. USB-C is just the connector, the physical shape. What determines speed is the protocol running through it. A cheap USB-C cable might only support USB 2.0, 480 megabits per second. That's the same speed as those black USB ports from the year 2000. Then came USB 3. It launched in 2008 at 5 gigabits per second. Simple enough. But then the USB-IF decided to rename it. First to USB 3.1 Gen 1, then to USB 3.2 Gen 1. Same speed, 3 different names. And it only gets worse. USB 3.1 at 10 gigabits, also renamed twice. And the newest version, 3.2 Gen 2x2 at 20 gigabits per second. Sounds more like a math equation than a tech standard. Then in 2019, USB 4 arrived and actually simplified things. USB 4 is USB-C only. No more Type A, no more Type B. The base version hits 40 gigabits per second, already 800 times faster than USB 2.0. Then USB 4 version 2.0, released in 2022, doubled that to 80. And in a special asymmetric mode, it reaches 120 gigabits per second. That's fast enough to transfer a full Blu-ray movie in under 2 seconds. Speed is one thing, but USB-C's other superpower is electricity. Old USB pushed about 2.5 watts, enough to slowly charge a phone, maybe. USB-C with power delivery changed everything. The charger literally talks to your device. They negotiate the right amount. Headphones get a trickle. A phone gets 20 watts. A laptop gets 65. And with USB PD 3.1, the maximum is 240 watts. That's enough for gaming laptops. To put that in perspective, your MacBook Air charges at 65 watts over USB-C, a Samsung Galaxy at 25, and a Nintendo Switch? Just 39. The charger and device figure it out automatically. You just plug in. This is why your modern laptop charger is just a small brick with a USB-C cable, instead of that heavy proprietary adapter with the round tip. Now here's where it gets really confusing. Thunderbolt, developed by Intel and Apple, uses the exact same USB-C connector, physically identical. But Thunderbolt is a completely different protocol, with guaranteed features that regular USB-C doesn't always deliver. External GPUs, daisy chaining multiple monitors, PCI Express tunneling for pro workflows. Picture this. You plug one Thunderbolt cable into your laptop, and suddenly you've got power, 2 external monitors, Ethernet, keyboard, and mouse. One cable replaces an entire desk full of wires. That's the real magic. Thunderbolt 5, launched in 2024, pushes 80 gigabits, up to 120 in asymmetric mode. Same numbers as USB 4 version 2.0. They're converging. The only way to tell them apart? That tiny lightning bolt symbol next to the port. If it's there, you've got Thunderbolt. There's one more reason USB-C is everywhere, and it's not just technology, it's politics. For years, Apple stuck to their proprietary Lightning connector on iPhones. Why? Control and licensing money. But the European Union had enough. 11,000 tons of old chargers thrown away every year in Europe alone. So they passed a law. By December 2024, every portable device sold in Europe must use USB-C, and it wasn't just phones. Tablets, e-readers, cameras, wireless earbuds, anything that charges. One standard enforced by law. Apple couldn't afford to lose Europe. With the iPhone 15, Lightning died, and USB-C became truly universal. So USB-C won, one plug for everything. But here's the trap nobody warns you about. You can buy a $5 cable that physically fits, but only does USB 2.0 at 15 watts. Right next to it, a $40 cable doing USB 4 at 240 watts. Same plug, same shape, and often nothing on the cable tells you which one you're holding. Here's the worst part. Even the packaging doesn't always help. Some cables just say USB-C, with no speed or wattage rating at all. So what do you actually need to know? Rule 1. Check the USB version on the box. USB 4 or 3.2 Gen 2 is what you want. Avoid anything that only says USB 2.0. Rule 2. Check the wattage. Charging a laptop? You need at least 60 watts. Look for PD or power delivery on the packaging. Rule 3. Need external GPUs or multiple monitors? Look for the Thunderbolt lightning bolt. And Rule 4. Look for the USB-IF certified logo. It's the closest thing to a guarantee that the cable does what it claims. And USB-C isn't done evolving. USB 4 version 2.0 devices are just starting to hit the market in 2026, with full 80 gigabit speeds. Thunderbolt and USB are merging into one standard. The dream of one cable that handles everything, data, video, power, pro workflows, is closer than ever. And the best part? As the standard matures, prices are dropping. A good USB 4 cable that cost $80 2 years ago? Now under $30. It's been a confusing ride, but 30 years after the first USB plug, we're finally getting there. And honestly, that's worth celebrating. And if you want all of this on one page, speeds, wattage, naming, everything, I made a free USB-C cheat sheet, link in the description. If this cleared things up, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. See you next time.